These are the best rums if you're looking to upgrade from Captain Morgan's. What are the best rums for beginners? Now, a lot of us start with Captain Morgan's or something like Kraken or more spice rums, Sailor Jerry's, and all these sorts of rums. That's what I did. My name's James and I love to explore rums, and I want to make rum more accessible so people can explore them as well, because rum's fun. So if you're a beginner getting into rum, or maybe you've just been drinking Captain Morgan's for all your life, and I literally did just speak to someone who's been drinking Captain Morgan's for 40 years, well, this video is for you. My name's James and I've been exploring rum for about 3 years now. I used to just drink Captain Morgan's, Sailor Jerry's, Kraken and all those sorts of rums until I discovered there was a lot more to it. So beginners, veterans, people who just enjoy rum, let's go on an adventure. The rums in these videos, because it's more Captain Morgan's and we're talking about Captain Morgan's dark, it could be spiced as well, but none of these rums I'm going to suggest are spiced rums. These are good quality rums, dark rums, white rums, which you can easily buy. Most of them are available at the supermarket, but at the same time, they're not too expensive. So if you like your Captain Morgan's, you're not breaking the bank by going for these rums. The idea is this is just the first part of your journey and to help you get used to new rums, maybe changing your palate from spiced rum to dark rum. So I'm going to make this easy. I'm just going to put in a list of 5. I'll talk about the rums. And if you have any questions about these rums or any suggestions or anything like that, please just put them in the comments. And number 5 is the cheapest on the list. And we're going to Marks and Spencer's. Yes, Marks and Spencer's do the best cheap rum. So if you go to Aldi or Lidl, you can get rum for about £11.50 to £12. But Marks and Spencer's, it starts at £14.50. So a little bit more expensive, but the quality is much, much better. So they have a white rum for £14.50 or a dark rum for £15.50. Try any of these. People don't give white rum enough of a chance. White rum is delicious. Actually, it's better than a lot of dark rum out there, but brands like Bacardi and Malibu have kind of ruined the market for white rum to make it think like it's just a mixer with Coke, but it's not, trust me. So go to Marks and Spencer's, try their white rum or their dark rum. It's their own brand. The next one, and this is one of the leaps that took me from novice to intermediate rum, and this was Rum Santiago de Cuba 8-year-old rum. Now this is the cheapest one of the Rum Santiago de Cuba brand. It's a Cuban rum, so it's kind of full of fiery flavour. It's delicious. You can taste the kind of barrel on this one. There's a little bit of harshness because it is cheaper than some of the other Rum Santiagos, but as I said, a little bit dash of water or an ice cube would take that away. Sip it and enjoy this rum. You can buy it for about £25 normally, but sometimes on like the club card prices or the nectar prices, you can get it for about 20 quid, and that is a bargain. At number 3, it's Appleton's Estate Signature Rum. Again, this is the cheapest one of the Appleton rums, and I like these rums because actually Appleton are a great brand of rum. They're a great distillery, and you can kind of progress up the ladder of Appleton's rum. Now, if you try this one, it's much darker than some of the other dark rums that you've had, but it's all natural colours through aging and through features like that. When you get a dark Captain Morgan's, that usually has a bit of caramel added in to try and make it look dark and aged, whereas this is the proper real deal. At number 2, it's Mount Gay Eclipse Rum. Again, so you can get this one really, really cheap. It usually sells between £23 and £25 normally, but sometimes you can get it cheap for about £19, £20, and it's worth every penny. You'll see this is a proper golden colour. Mount Gay is from Barbados, which is the home of rum. I've been lucky enough not to go to Barbados, maybe one day, but to have the master distiller do a rum tasting, and I've tried their rums, a huge selection. And I've always liked Mount Gay Eclipse rum. And that, again, is the bottom rung of the ladder of Mount Gay's. But what you can do is you can climb that ladder, and you can start off with this one for £19, and you'd be buying Mount Gay's for about 120 quid as you get higher up this ladder, and each one is worth it. There's that one. Try the Black Barrel eventually as your taste progresses, but this is a great number 2. And at number 1 is Chairman's Reserve Original Rum. So this is the most expensive on the list. It sells anywhere between £28 and £32. If you can get it on sale, you get it for about £24. That comes round, so maybe you want to wait for that. But Chairman's Reserve is from St. Lucia and it is a delicious rum. Now, usually I'd think about putting Mount Gay at number 1, but I've put Chairman's Reserve at number 1 for a very special reason. Maybe you're used to drinking spiced rum and you want to kind of move over to rum, you know, regular rum, dark rum, white rum. Well, Chairman's Reserve Original have a spice version. So it's for the same price. You can get on sale at £24 sometimes as well. So if you are a spiced rum drinker, you can go on to Chairman's Reserve Spice Rum, which is one of the best spice rums, especially around that price point, about £28 out there. And then you can kind of hop across to Chairman's Reserve Original. And I think that's a great progression when it comes to rum. Don't need to mix it with anything. If you really want to mix it, of course you can. But that is a great progression. Spice rum, Chairman's Reserve Original Spiced to Chairman's Reserve Original. There is a journey. And trust me, there's a lot of fun in exploring rums like this. When you've tried just these 5 rums, you've tried rums from 4 different countries. You know, it's already getting quite special. You will notice the difference from a Cuban rum to something from Barbados. This is where rum gets fun. And once you've done that, try and hop across to the UK and Britain, because here we're producing great rums as well. Thanks for joining. If you want to know more about rum, please subscribe. But if you have any questions, any suggestions, put them in the comments. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.